This is the Libertarian Dilettante, and welcome to episode 3 of my Airline Club Let's Play. So, as you can see, our airline is doing quite a bit better now. A lot of these routes are in green. So of course I'm going to take a look at them, and just out of habit I'll sort them by load factor. So Istanbul to Gdansk is still struggling a bit. Maybe I need to lower the price on that. But I also want to check how close I am to the direct demand. Only 90 out of 150. This was one of my newer routes, and if we check the airport, we see that my awareness is still very low, so I expect that to improve over time. Nevertheless, I will go ahead and lower the price on this to help speed that up. Now the other thing you'll notice, let's just go ahead and take a look at Florence. I now have 25 additional slots available from Istanbul. So clearly my efforts have paid off, and now I can leverage all those new slots. I plan on using the same plane that I have been, this Embraer 120. So here I've hit maximum capacity, and my awareness is still pretty low, but it's a little higher than it was at Gdansk. So I should consider either adding a couple of flights or raising the price. And since I have all these slots available, I'm just going to start gradually adding flights. Istanbul to Genoa. Okay, so I had cut back my capacity, and now I've reached full capacity. Again here, I'm going to start adding back one flight at a time, maybe even two at a time. Yeah, because I'm quite a bit lower than the total direct demand. Oh, one of the disadvantages of organizing by load factor and then going down your routes is that the routes will move around as you make adjustments. So it's probably actually wiser to sort them by some other means once you've gone through and dealt with the low load factor ones. So I'll organize by profit. All right, I've looked at Genoa. I'll take a look here. I've been capped for quite a while. There's quite a lot of direct demand available, so rather than raise prices, I'm just going to try to add flights. Naples, remember, this is the city that I'm thinking of opening a new hub in. And I can actually do that right now if I choose to, I believe. Let's confirm that. No. Okay, so I must need 20 reputation. All right, no problem. Well, I don't want to do that yet anyway, because the whole point of opening a new hub in Naples is to get more access to slots, and currently I have plenty of slots available. So I will continue to fly here, of course. Because I haven't really consistently hit my capacity, I'll just leave this route alone. And I have a couple more that I haven't made any adjustments to, it looks like. Okay, here I'm getting pretty close to the direct demand, and my network isn't really all that great. So rather than add a flight, well, then again, I still have 20 slots available, and I'm pretty sure I can go over this amount, so I was going to raise the price, but I'll just add one more flight instead. And Rostov. And I'm nowhere near my direct demand, so I should add at least 2 flights here. I'm even thinking of going to 3. But there's no real need to rush things. And as I recall, I don't have very much awareness here, yeah, because I just established this in episode 2. So now I've gone over the routes that I already have, and if I look at the Office tab, we can see that I've used 7 routes. I have a total of 15 available. Now I don't want to upgrade my hub at Istanbul anytime real soon because it costs a lot of money. You can see it would cost me over $9 million to upgrade this. So I think I'm just going to be content with my 15 routes. If I need to close some of them down later to open up higher potential routes, I'm okay with doing that. But for now, I'm going to open new routes because I have 8 more potential routes available, and I have a lot of slots to use up. So I'll look at the flight map. I've already looked around some, so this is kind of artificial in that I already know sort of where I want to be looking. One place is over here. I know there's a Turkish city right around here. This one, I believe. Yeah. So 244 direct demand. That's very good. And you notice that the city itself wasn't enormous. It's not even 250,000 people. So I think that the reason the direct demand is relatively high is because this is within a single country, the home country. So people are more likely to travel within Turkey than between 2 different countries, especially if those 2 countries don't get along well. All right, how many flights do I want? 4 sounds pretty good. Yeah, that should easily get me started anyway. I'll take it down a couple notches. I'll take it down 3 notches. And I'll go ahead and create that route. Let's see what it costs me. $66,000. So if I need to close this down later, I'm only out a pretty small amount. And I also want to check, okay, my target service quality is 10. My current service quality is 5.86. So probably by tomorrow, it should be up to 10. I'll go ahead and increase it to 12 just to make sure I don't miss out on the opportunity for growth. Okay, and back to the world map where I'm going to find another city. I think there was another nice looking one right here in Turkey. Kazare, or something like that. It might also be cheaper. There it is. Kayseri. Again, I'm not sure. Maybe someday I'll look these up and figure out how to pronounce them for real. 260 direct demand. It's a very short route though, so I'll keep that in mind, but I'm not going to jump on it right away. There were some more options in Italy that looked pretty good, and I like flying to Italy because it has a relatively high income level, which means that there will be potential for business passengers when I get around to doing that someday. The best of the remaining cities is right around here somewhere. This one, I think, or at least it's the best one I came across. Nearly 700,000 people. 217 direct demand. No airplane. Okay. So I'm going to find my Embraer. Oh, you know what else I can do? Let's even take a look at the used plane market. I haven't done that yet. All right, so it's 8 million new. Do any of these look attractive? Not really. If it's in red, it's particularly expensive, and so I don't even consider it. If it's in black, it may be an okay deal. And if it's in green, which none of these are, this one is, then it's a little cheaper than you might expect. But basically, your planes start really performing very poorly once they reach a condition of about 40%. So I don't like to buy anything that has less than 60%, because you just don't have very long before it starts becoming a nuisance and you want to get rid of it. I can afford to buy 3, oh, well, not really, because I have to save some money for opening new routes. So let me think about this for a second. I can afford to buy 2 of these planes. That's enough to use up the remaining slots I have, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can use up my remaining slots with 2 more planes. I can also borrow money from the bank, but until my income is a little more stable, I don't want to do that. I always borrow at 5 years. This interest rate is not, it doesn't really list the APR interest rate. And so my advice is to always take the 5-year loan. If you do the math, you'll see that it works out to be the best deal every time. Okay, so if I were to do this, I would then have an obligation to pay $75,000 per week. And if we go back to the Office tab, my current income, well, this is just my profits. So my profits are around 100,000, but it's not real stable. So I'd be putting myself in a bit of a bind if I obligated myself to pay that much. But what I really need to look at is my cash flow. And that is actually about the same in this case. But this means every week, this is how much extra money I have. If I start paying most of that to pay off loans, it's just a risk that I don't need to take. So I'm going to definitely wait until my income and my cash flow stabilize before considering loans. Coming back here, I didn't see any plane that's an especially good value, and I don't really need to buy a used plane, so I'll just buy a new one. And then I'll come back to the city I found, plan a flight. Let's go with 4 flights a week. That's still well below the direct demand. I'll take the price down a fair bit. I could also be increasing the service level like I did before. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. For the previous one that I opened in Turkey, I don't think that's quite as necessary because the direct demand was a little higher. And because it's a Turkish airport and Turkey has a lower average income, I think their expectations for service quality are not quite as high. But here in Italy, I will go ahead and increase my service level to 2. And we'll call that good. I can probably open about 3 more routes. 2 or 3 more, something like that. All right. This is another Italian city that I like. Again, there's no direct competition. That's my initial criteria. And I have 164 direct demand. So I could push my luck and go with 4 here as well. Yeah, because I don't want to open up a whole bunch of routes at just 3 slots. So I'm pretty sure I can make this work. I should probably add, well, we'll see where I open that last option. And really, I was thinking about it from a geographic point of view. I don't need flights to the north all that much because I can't really fly to the south. These cities in southwestern Turkey aren't really far enough to make flying all that worthwhile. And these cities in North Africa and Asia are just, they count as intercontinental flights, so I can't make those flights right now anyway. Oh, you know what? Maybe, well, I'm going to save all my intercontinental routes. Even if it's possible to open one, let's just find out. No, I still can't even do that yet. So I would need to hit 20 reputation probably. So as I was saying, I can't really fly to the south, and therefore it's not as important for me to fly to the north. What I really am going to focus a little bit more on is flying east and especially west, because people from these western cities might be tempted to continue on to the east. But someone flying in from Gdansk, they might be interested in going further east to Turkey, but it's fairly unlikely that they're going to be interested in flying to Italy via Istanbul. So, and that goes for pretty much all these cities up here. Italy is pretty much ideal for me because that's about as far as I can reach with my Embraer 120. And I don't want to invest in a more expensive plane just yet. But I could take a look at Marseille. Oh wait, I'm not looking at the, well, I could do it anyway. All right, there is competition here. This person is using the default price, and they have quite a bit of capacity. As you can see, it's way more than the direct demand. So that's not a fight I want to enter into. I'm going to continue with my strategy of looking for routes that don't have any direct competition. And I think I'll probably just stick with Italy because that's about how far my planes can reach. But just for fun, I'll take a look at some of these French cities. I'm going to look for one that has at least 100,000 people. If it has any fewer than that, I just don't think it's going to be worth flying to. And you can see there are quite a lot of airports in this game that just have a very small population covered. I think especially in France. For some reason, France seems to be underpopulated. Okay, this has over 100,000, so we'll take a look. Only 36 direct demand, and it's too far. So there's really not much point in getting excited about that. Now, Lyon, I'm pretty sure, is a significant sized city. And you can see both of these airports combined don't have 400,000 people. And 69 direct demand just isn't really enough to keep me interested. I think there's one more in Italy that I want, but I might have to take a minute to find it. I wrote down SUF, that's the airport code, but that doesn't really help me because I don't know Italian geography very well. Oh, here it is, though. Oh, and I already opened that one, didn't I? Yeah. When I try to plan a flight and I already have a flight to that city, it won't open anything up over here. So I think my next best option was this one right here in Sicily. 147. It's costing me about $250,000 to open this route. This is the kind of route that I might need to close out someday. But by then I hope to have made well over $250,000. So the tempting thing to do would be to just use up all 5 of my slots here, but the wiser thing would probably be to stick with 4 and find a city that I'm already flying to put that last slot into. So that's what I'll do. I'll come back to my routes. I've got quite a few now, which in itself is nice because this just gives people more options for connecting using my airport. How about this one? Oh, now I need to exit the map. So we're up to 71. We haven't quite hit the direct demand. Oh, and I've used all my plane capacity by doing this. So that looks good. All right. So I can't really do much of anything else right now because I've used up all of my slots. There's sort of a constant tension between using all of your available slots and using all of your available money. If I wanted to, wait, no, I have to wait for 20 reputation before I can open this. I think we've already confirmed that. Yeah. So I don't know exactly how many passengers I need to get to 20 reputation, but I feel like I'm well on my way. And if I need to, I can start buying bigger planes. Also, because I haven't capped out at my home airport, I expect to get a bunch more slots the next time I come back. You see, though, that my awareness has already risen to over 50%. So here pretty soon I'm going to hit the cap on my awareness at my home airport. It can still continue to rise if the loyalty rises, which it will, but loyalty is a bit more fickle than awareness. And I find that my loyalty tends to cap out around 50 or so, or less even, 45, unless I make some particular effort to win loyalty. And I don't like to do that because it costs a lot of money, or you have to forego a lot of money, one or the other. So consequently, I think I'm just going to wrap this up, and I'll see you next time.